Okay, Andy, so the question that you did was fiscal deficit. Evaluate the case for cutting public expenditure rather than raising taxes as a means of reducing deficit. Fiscal deficit when the government spending exceeds government revenue. Are we missing the word revenue there, Andy? Resulting in a loss for the government. Let's be careful with that accuracy. Cutting public expenditure is a fiscal policy which will affect the spending side for the government. For example, there have been a huge reduction in spending for the NHS. Got an application there which will help to reduce the deficit as spending decrease when revenue stays the same. This would be a better choice over taxes. Not everyone is directly and immediately affected by these actions, and therefore it would be easier to implement. A little bit of a judgment there. This would work especially well as they can simply reduce reductions from their end. I'm not exactly sure what you mean there, Andy. Furthermore, they had to cut spending or reduce taxes, then cutting spending would likely be more effective, as there is no way to get around this, whereas a raise in taxes, especially progressive tax, could lead to more people avoiding taxes. Try and use the Laffer curve in a bit more detail there. So that's a very good point in terms of evaluation, Andy. In terms of if you do cut spending, it's a definite, whereas if you cut or you increase the taxes, then there might be a tax avoidance there. But use that Laffer curve, explain why that might lead to avoidance or evasion. However, reducing spending by such as education budget will cause the quantity and quality of education. So this is a good one for the long-term impacts. I don't know if I'm missing the bottom of this answer, Andy. But just to give you a little bit of feedback, what you need to be linking this back to is the deficit. So if you didn't, how might it be ineffective if it's quantity or quality in terms of the longer term? And it might be nice to link that into a structural deficit. So actually the economy loses long run aggregate supply, and that loss of long run aggregate supply leads to some structural problems in the economy with a lower economic growth. That might reduce tax revenues even further, which might create an even larger deficit. You could also talk about it depends upon the stage in the economic cycle. So either of those two strategies would be more effective when the economy is growing and less effective if it was in a recession.